So, way too many times I've, as a child, fallen asleep in my bed and woken up somewhere completely random and completely not my bed. Um, and, you know, I do remember I did not put two and two together, and had I put two and two together, I would have been able to tell police this, but because I was too young, I didn't have enough information to make sense of it, to put two and two together. I couldn't process it enough to put two and two together. Basically, if you haven't watched anything else yet about this subject, my family was when I was born, they knew it was different, and ever since day one, they literally did not even call me human. They saw me as they call a devil child, and therefore to me I'm not even a child, not even a person. And you know, they tried everything to get rid of me, everything, and this was just one more thing they tried. I remember, like I said prior, still daylight, they pulled off to the side of a road, a construction site, and had like a little meeting with somebody. This guy on some kind of bobcat-like tractor thing had come up to them, and my father had opened the trunk and shown him this little mini box coffin thing and this little mini casket thing, and he had made an agreement to make another appointment where he would hand this thing to him, and that basically I didn't get all of the conversation because most of it I was sitting in the car, door shut, and I couldn't hear everything, but I heard enough to know that they were talking about me. I just didn't know exactly what. So that, at first I didn't think was related to it at all. Again, as a child, I could not process to put two and two together. But like I said, I went to bed, and I'm convinced that a lot of times they give me some kind of poison or something that knocks me out completely, some kind of neurological something that I don't know if it's anesthesia related or if it's something else, but it was something massive. And it's one of those times that I'm not sure I should live from that, whatever that was. I don't know. I was old enough that they already tried a bunch of things already, that I survived things I shouldn't have, with some appearing more like pure luck and others not having any good explanation for, other than maybe something paranormal. But anyway, I was sitting, in bed, falling asleep, and then I wake up, in this dream. I'm still dreaming technically, but I wake up and I'm in this box and it's a game, and I think it's fun, and it's like a hide and seek game I'm playing inside this box. And lid closes, and then I can't get out. I don't realise I can't get out yet. I still think it's a game. I think like a hide and seek game. My spirit guardians are in the dream, and they're telling me that I need to, you know, push up on the lid and free myself and get out. That it's not a game. And about at that point is when I wake up and realize I can't breathe because there's no oxygen in there. And I'm really groggy and I don't do anything, and I still think that I can get out anytime I want to. The problem is that I'm starting to hear dirt being, poured on. And then I faint again. And then my spirit guardians dream, left off right where it left off, saying you need to push out of it before too much dirt falls on top of you. And then when I come conscious again, I have that intuition that, okay, something's not right, maybe I should get out of here. And by that time, I literally couldn't get out. I thought I could, but I couldn't. It was too much weight. It was that bobcat thing that was pouring the dirt on. So there's a lot of dirt piling on all at once. It's not just like little shovels. This giant machine is pouring the dirt on in massive amounts. As a little child, with all my might, I still thought I could get out, and I couldn't. I'd waited too long. And because I didn't have any oxygen, I'd used up all of my energy, and I literally could not. I couldn't even, move anymore. I couldn't kick it. I couldn't punch it. I couldn't do anything. And I fainted again. And then I keep in and out of consciousness like that, again with the dream, picking up right where it left off, which is bizarre. My spirit guardian is telling me, you need to scream. You need to scream again. You need to scream again. And I just kept saying, I don't want to wake up and scream again. It's peaceful here in the dream. I want to stay in the dream. And they said, no, you gotta wake up and you gotta scream. And so I'd wake up, and then I'd try my best to scream a couple of times. I hear cars rolling in, and one more time I scream. And then I hear arguments, commotion, some kind of fight. And then I pass out again. And then I hear, next time I wake up, I hear shovels digging. And then, eventually it gets to the point where it's almost shallow enough to where I can push off myself. And I don't know that, but it just kind of feels like the layer between, you hear these people and it feels like there's not much dirt between you and the people anymore. So I try again, and literally they keep telling me to wait until they get all the dirt off. I can't, because I have absolutely no breath left. There's zero oxygen. I keep fading in and out of consciousness. This might be the last time that I have. So I very weakly push up, like this kind of. That's about all I could do. And the dirt comes falling in, and they drag me out, and I think I can just get up and walk, and I can't. I fall onto my knees. I start shaking. I feel like I'm gonna vomit. I can't catch my breath. I thought that as soon as I got out of there, I could just breathe and I'd be fine. But apparently, I'd been like that for a little too long. And, the police officer that was with me said that I'm just having a panic attack, I'll be fine. But I felt like I was dying. And I felt like I'd been poisoned. I did. And honestly, I do think I was poisoned. I don't think it was something simple. I think it was poison. Actual poison. My family's been notorious for several different kinds of poison that they use on me. You know, so I'm pretty sure that was more than, you know, and suffocating for that long was more than the actual panic attack. But I will say nerves do a lot to make it worse. And so once he explained to me that it was nerves, I kind of did calm down slightly from what I was. And then I remember sitting there going, wow, the stars, the night, this is so peaceful. I just had a moment where, you know, kind of with nature, where I was like, you know, being out of that box with fresh air and the night sky, it just was like heaven, you know. What you'd imagine it would be like. Anyway, so they had a guy in handcuffs and they were questioning him, and he, you know, said it's my own property. I have, you know, the right to do this on my own property. And, you know, they said, well, yeah, but, you know, you're doing this in the middle of the night, really late at night, and really honestly, if you're doing this in the daytime, we wouldn't have thought anything of it, and we just happened to stop by and thought this was odd. And the guy was telling them, you know, well, they paid me to do this, and I thought that the child was dead. I would have never done it if I knew that somebody was alive in there. And they said, oh, really, who paid you? And he said the name of my two parents. And, you know, they asked me, who are your parents? And I said the same name. And they said, no, there's no way that, you know, one guy even said, I know these people, I know this family, there's no way that they paid him. They got narrow-minded. They believed the lies, either they believed the lies or they were in on it. You know, that one guy especially believed what they were saying about their reputation and how, you know, they did not question my family at all. They thought that he was lying. They thought that he was lying to get himself a lesser sentence, and they thought that he was the one that kidnapped me. He never kidnapped me. They handed me to him. That was what that meeting was earlier in the day. That was that meeting. You know, that was that agreement. You know, and I unfortunately couldn't put two and two together to explain that to them. The only thing I remember is waking up in that box, and I didn't correlate the two events as being connected. And I wish I had, because, you know, that may have been enough to not make them so narrow-minded, and that could have been enough to imprison my family. I could have, my pain could have stopped right there. But it's so frustrating, because they were so close to arresting my family. They just missed it by a hair, and this is not the only time. There are many times where stuff like this happened, where police barely scratch the surface of something and walk right past a giant, you know, menace, and they don't even see it, and it's right there. You know, it's just how close it came to justice so many times is what angers me, and I can't blame them. Especially if they're really trying to do the right thing, which in this case I actually do think they were trying to do the right thing. I think the majority of those officers were literally distraught and disgusted at what they saw and wanted to seek justice. I really do think that they were in it for the right reasons. I just think that they didn't see the entire picture, and they were too narrow-minded.